This is the little 6R4 and it's awful. Hello again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the last film. That just shows what kind of a state this thing was in before we started. It was pretty bad, to say the least. Anyway, we're getting on with it well now. And this week we have picked up where we left off. We've had a good bit of banter. We've had a change of plan. We've had a guest. Plenty to go at. So grab a brew, get a bicky, and here goes. It's one of those unboxing videos. I've never understood what people see in that. Someone has a box delivered and cut them into it and get rid of the foam packaging, and out comes the thing you knew was in there all along. Oh, I suspect people who do unboxing videos have a clue how to unbox things as well. This is a bit... I'm not doing so well with this. This is, if I can ever get into it, some new core. We've now got a few slightly more ambitious plans. Saved stuff that may otherwise have headed for the skip. This is fancy new core to try and make those plans a reality. That's how I don't slash my hand with a blade and end up in E&E for stitches. There's rather more of this than we wanted. That is going to get the job done admirably. There we go. There's enough there to line my bedroom at home with honeycomb aluminium today. It has an expiry date. Who knew that honeycomb aluminium had an expiry date? I wonder what happens to it when it expires. Oh well. It's just going to get a nice shot of consolidating resin and that will set solid. That's had a few repairs. It's been dug out a little bit to see what was what. It wasn't so bad, and it's had a little slice of fresh core. So internally, that's all solid. We just need to sort out the outsides now. How are we getting on with these patches?
It's metal.
Piece of metal.
No holes in it.
No holes in it. What we're doing here, is these are the first experimental holes. These are the kind of Pathfinder holes that now they've done the thing that we don't have any use for them. So what we do now, it's all part of the plan, is we just disappear them.
Lots of holes in the bodywork.
Lots of holes.
So I need to put those holes
into that.
So I've prepared one hole.
When you prepared earlier.
Yes, and the way I prepared that was put the...
So you got Tom to do that?
Oh no.
He's good at them.
If you get the material into the position you require it, and then you get your hole finder,
wow.
which is just a piece of metal with a rivet in.
No, it's a highly technical.
It's tool number 384.1.
Yep, from the Eurofighter Typhoon special kit list. Yep, that's the one.
And what happens is it magically slides down the back of the panel into the rivet hole, and then when everything's lined up in position, you can mark your hole.
And then you can drill it. I do believe that's going to be a slight improvement. Okay, lots of glue, many rivet holes, that loads there, pin that. Okay, we'll get another one on the bottom. That's pinned. Let's have some rivets. far so good. And there you have it. That's in with many glue and rivets. And that one's in too. Doubled, strengthened, thickened, double the number of rivets. That should hold up. Now we don't just stick to one job. We're always bringing daft things in here to be mended, and people walk in with stuff and say, can you fix this, that and the other. And this week we had a visit from an old mate of ours who we worked with on Bluebird, but who we worked with first when we painted a Vulcan bomber one weekend. It's in the playlist somewhere, it's on the channel. And Keith popped in with a little widgety job for us.
Hi.
And Keith used to turn up and help us.
Why are you here today, Keith?
Why are you here today, Keith?
For a favour. An extreme welding challenge.
Yeah. Brought a gubby job in, have you?
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly. I don't know. Right. Tell me what that is.
A dust cover that goes over the stick shift on a Land Rover R380 gearbox. And it snapped because it's a really bad design. As you can
You mean it was
see
made
there.
at Longbridge by Rover?
Yes. So there you go. And it's a common fault, and strangely they're not available anymore, which is a bit of a surprise because everybody I know with the same car as me has the same problem.
Oh. Are we in landscape now?
Yes.
That's good. We're not TikTokers and Instagrammers, we're YouTubers in this place.
Doing a good job, Bill.
Oh, thank you. You had to say that. We'll get invited back. What you got, John?
We've got a little piece of box that we're going to stick into this channel. And then
Go on
it'll
in.
come out again.
And it'll squidge all the glue off as it goes down the sides, watch. Oh.
It's quite satisfying, that actually.
Look at that. Bolts in the bottom,
Bolts in the bottom,
rivets in the top. Glue and rivets. Good work. Is it working, John?
Definitely working.
Definitely working.
And everything fits where it touches.
Hey. And Deb's looks a bit different today.
Oh, why?
Need the hairdressers?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going there
You had a colour on your hair, Debs, you went grey.
Put the curlers in.
We've got them all before. And I needed a rubber hammer. That sounded promising.
Whoa. That's how that literally just fits. Yeah.
Are we happy with that then?
We're happy.
Happy? Did we miss any rivets? Have we got the lot?
There's one we didn't get. One out of
30?
40.
40?
Yeah.
One out, well, you're allowed 10%.
Yes.
So we could have had 3.
Yeah,
We got
one.
1.
All the bolts are in,
All the bolts are in.
so it's not coming back out.
No, it's a slight improvement on how it started as well.
Yes.
Yeah. That's in now. Full picture rivets, both sides. Lots of glue, and as we've come to expect. I'll take that. Much strong. I mean, it just simply wouldn't have been possible without Keith's input tonight.
Absolutely not, no. I mean, I bet you're really relieved I turned up today to help you with that.
we would have had a real problem with that if you hadn't showed up.
The thing
But
is,
the main thing is I've got this, Bill. And that's
Oh,
what
I need
came
it.
for.
are you going to come back? Or is that
Absolutely,
it?
of course I'm
Of course he's going to come back next time he needs
Need
something.
something.
Yeah. It was your thing, John.
Right, oh there.
Yeah, there.
There you go.
Yes, one MG Rover or Longbridge sack of, yeah, duly mended. Now, according to YouTube analytics, don't go there, it's as wide as it's long, you can get lost in there, it's like Narnia. But according to that, almost everyone who watches this channel is a middle-aged English bloke. There's a few others, yeah, welcome America, Australia, thanks for watching, but mostly middle-aged English blokes, which means at some point you'll have bought some Nitromorse paint stripper. And you'll also remember how you brush it onto a door frame or a car panel and almost immediately the paint started to crackle and to rise up and to writhe as though it was in agony trying to get off the door frame or the car panel. And it made a lovely crackling noise and you could watch it and then you just brush the paint off and you're ready to go. Well, whatever you do, do not buy Nitromorse paint stripper ever again, because it's become a woke, watery pastiche of its former self that does not do what it says on the tin. It is hopeless. It doesn't strip paint, especially old paint is normally what you want rid of. Won't touch it. It shrivels up before it moves a thing. But as soon as I bought it and tried it and it failed, I'm going to try one more time and wrap the job up in some tin foil, which you can't do with a door frame or a car, and we'll see if we can get a little bit of use out of it. Anyway, here goes. Put some of that in there. At least if I wrap it up it can't dry out before it's done nothing. At least we'll find out whether it does anything while it's actually wet, which will surprise me. So we'll put some gloop on there. And of course it's been quiet all day, but the minute I start doing this, the forklifts start rallycrossing around in the street outside, which is the bane of my life in here. Sometimes I have sketchy audio without their help. I wonder if they had a meeting. Who makes it? It's not Ronseal, is it? Because if it says Ronseal on here, it certainly doesn't do what it says in our Tetrasil group, whoever they are. I wonder if they had a meeting saying, you know, we've got this really good product, how can we make it dreadful? I know, let's take all the good stuff out of it and we'll make it with kale. That'll ruin it. Good idea. Now for those of you who used Nitromorse in the day, by now the crackling and blistering would have begun and the paint would be starting to lift, and you could get this on here and you could sit back with your cup of tea and watch one of the most satisfying dramas of the workshop unfolded before your very eyes. Nearly the paint trying to leap off in horror and anguish and pain because you just covered it in Nitromorse. And so far, absolutely nothing. Wrap that up. Might have thoughtfully provided some cutouts for your brush. I don't remember the old tin having that. Probably because the brush has to stand there 4 times longer. There we'll have it. We'll leave that and see what becomes of it. Nothing, probably. We had a bit of a change of plan on how to fix the floors at the front. And the reasoning goes like this. The original plan was to extend this aluminium angle all the way around here, all the way around there, along the front and end in this corner. That way the floor could sit down and be secure around the full width, which it wasn't before. So we thought we'd do that because we can. Problem is that from here onwards it's steel and we'd have to rivet the aluminium to it, and we'd also have to fiddle the aluminium over the top of this lot while still getting some rivets in. So what we've decided instead is to swap at this point here for steel and put steel round. And then we can work it over this awkward area without difficulty and we can weld it in and it's done. And that's it. This corner is tricky for another reason. Because originally, this outer skin of the honeycombs, and notice I'm not using a graphite pencil, Mr. Helpful Man in the comments. I got told off for that, quite right. And the skin went like that and stood up along here, and it was welded into there. But at this point, the lip stops because there's a gearbox mount goes in there. So all they did was weld that original steel skin straight to that. But that would destroy the honeycomb within, because that blue stuff is glue. So what they did to get around that was they cut that back and they dug the core out for a distance of about ½ an inch, put that up to there, welded that, so on the inside you had a ½ inch gap full of cork. Seems a bit unnecessary. So if we can add an attachment at this point that will sit down onto, we can rivet it so it's never going to get hot and it's supported along the full width. It's a small thing but we can do it, so we'll do it. So having arrived at a conclusion and a plan, we had a bit of a site meeting with Albie, who's in charge of attachment angles. But first, this required a bit of tooling. A bit of plywood cut to shape.
So what exactly's gone wrong, John? Albie's he's drawn a lovely straight line. And then for some reason he's wheeled along the inside of this one.
And avoided it?
Yeah, unless he can't, it's meant to, so you don't go near. But then this one, he's went on the other side of the line.
So basically
wiggled along that.
drawn a nice straight line and then stayed miles away from it?
Yeah.
It's not a left-handed jigsaw.
It's what?
It's
not left-handed.
It's not a left-handed
No
jigsaw.
left-handed jigsaw?
No.
So we're going to get your left-handed jigsaw?
What's the difference?
There isn't any difference.
When you're left-handed, you've got to.
Does this mean you've got to have left-handed burglar's tools?
All that's on that side is the on button.
Yeah.
It's completely symmetrical.
I'm not.
John, not only has he made a complete arse of his job, he's conned you into thinking it wasn't his fault.
I've been using that jigsaw wrong all my life then.
What do we say, Albie? Take more pride.
Yeah.
What are you doing anyway?
It's a lovely shape though.
I know, you just need to find something to fit
It's
now.
like artistic.
How the hell have I got that flipping wrong?
Oh, I didn't have my proper glasses on, Bill.
It's not one thing, it's
I had my distance glasses on.
Well, at least your phone didn't ring in the middle of it. That's your usual excuse.
See, that looks alright. No. I think the CAD's rubbish.
Albie, you had one job, mate. Anyway, we got there in the end, and that is the first section of the steel attachment pinned in. We can work away from that round this corner. We can come back that way till we meet aluminium. Job's a good one.
And now for something completely different.
This is the little 6R4, and it's awful. It's a terrible car. I mean, on paper, it's epic. 450 horsepower-ish, massive torque, incredible throttle response, 10,000 RPM if you want to hammer it, and it's an absolute psychopath. It wants to kill you. It's a very short chassis, all the way to the back. It's like trying to throw a hammer with the handle leading, and when it spins, and I say when it spins, it comes around so quickly, it's like a time machine. You meet yourself coming back the other way. So a proper handful. It's road legal, but it's not great on the road. It's a bit like if you take your dog for a walk. There's always someone on your dog walking route with a horrible snappy snarly thing that can't ever come off the lead with wire mesh on its face because it doesn't like other dogs. Well, if the 6R4 was a dog, it would be that dog, and it's best to keep it away from other road users. However, the plan was to take it to Elvington, and that was a different animal because big open spaces, out on the perimeter track or the pan, proper crowd management, etc. It promised to be a lot of fun. And then, just before it was due to be transported, it died. It's currently dead. Now, when you upload a video to YouTube, you have to declare your video isn't full of profanity, naughty words, hate speech, vegan-phobic slurs, all this kind of thing. And they give you a list of naughty words that you're not allowed to use, from which they've plucked a few important letters and replaced them with asterisks, which is all a bit stupid because you can read them anyway. Just tell us what the words are, YouTube, and say don't use them. Well, not use them. We're all grown-ups. Anyway, in order to express the depth of the frustration I felt when this went wrong, if I was to say that the car uncommandedly defecated in its own trousers, and as a result, the entire effort went breasts in that direction, you'll gain some idea of how frustrated I was. In here is a genuine V6 4V engine. V6 for V6, 4V for 4 valves per cylinder, and contrary to popular legend, it is not a Rover V8 with the end lopped off. It was a clean sheet of paper designed for this car, only used in this car except for the Jag XJ220, a couple of different cylinder heads and some turbos. Otherwise, that's the V6 4V. And the cause of the failure was this. A fuel injector, a Bosch fuel injector, widely used on Volvos and I believe some Peugeots, and it's come apart inside, and as soon as the car tried to make fuel pressure, the fuel was, let's just say, micturating urgently past the seals and all over the floor. So I need a new one. I can get one off Amazon, I can get one off eBay, but it'd be much more fun to get one from somebody out in YouTube land. So in the first instance, please don't forget to subscribe so we know you're out there. And secondly, if you have a dead Volvo or a Volvo engine or a Peugeot that has this injector, I'll put the part number on, give me a shout in the comments. In fact, everyone give me a shout in the comments because I like the banter. And we'll see, it'll be much more fun to get this from someone out in YouTube land, and then we can have a bit of a joint effort getting a tune out of the little Metro. That would be great. Anyway, thanks for watching. Weekend's here, family time, first race of the F1 season. I'm off. See you next week. Okay, see what we're left with, see what we've got. I had high hopes, but it's actually still rubbish. It's taken 2 days to achieve that. Well, that was the crushing defeat I expected. Told you, it doesn't work. They've ruined it. Never mind, we'll get the paint off some other way. Forklift.